That day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute. I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning. And this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? Then what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Let's go! Hey!
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. We have part 2 of our live. Part 2. We're going to start with Hillary. Hillary. Oh, Lord, Hillary was on fire last night. I only showed a short clip at the end of Hillary. Bill, we're going to put you back to the end, okay? But we got to start with Hillary. Gosh, let me just say thank you all. Tell you what, if you all can hear me well, because the storm, doing a lot of raining here and everything bad. If you can hear me well, good. If the audio is good, put a 1 in the chat so I know you all can hear me. Thank you. Put a 1 in the chat, and if you can't hear me, let me know. All right. It is bad. While I'm doing that, let me just go ahead and do this. Welcome everybody to the Pink House. Thank you for coming to the Pink House. And also go ahead and hit that like button. Hitting that like button is one way to let YouTube know that you like my content. Okay. And if you like it, then if they see all the likes, everybody hitting the like button, that gives them, oh, well, right idea comes to their mind. I'll send Pinkie's content out to more people. They may like her videos, her likes, her, not likes, videos, her lives and stuff like that. All right. And also, if you can, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Not if you can, it's free. So go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Both of those are free. Doesn't cost a thing. All right. And by subscribing, every time I drop a video, go live, or do anything, y'all will get a notification. All right. I do want to say thank you guys for that. And don't forget about Pink Global, my second channel. We got to get that one monetized, guys. We got to get that channel monetized. All right. Go over, hit the like button on Pink Global. Watch a video. All right. Thank you, guys. Now, let's go ahead and get into this. The Clintons video. Oh, Lord. Their deposition. They tried to block this. Yeah, y'all know when I say they, the administration. Okay? They tried to block this. This is part 2 live. Okay? They tried to block it. But let me tell you what Hillary did. Okay, now this is the full deposition. Hillary and Bill, we're going to analyze this. The testimony, we're going to analyze this. But Hillary, she said, hell no, y'all ain't gonna do this to me. Y'all ain't gonna play with me. Oh, Hillary walks out. She ain't got time to play with those folks. Oh no, Hillary said, I'm gone. Y'all can play. I'm gone. Oh Lord, Hillary. Let me see. Thank you, Miss Ophelia, for letting me know that you can hear me. Thank you so much. Cecily Bonnie, Pinky, you look beautiful and sound great. Thank you, guys. Let me go in here and see. Hi, Linda Gamble. Thank you, Bonnie. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much, Linda. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Pink House. That's Linda Gamble, the moderator for the channel. Remember to hit the like button on your way into the Pink Global. So depends on what channel you're watching me from, because I'm going live on both. So let me just do this, put my straw in here. I'm drinking lemon water again. That's my lemon water. Yeah. Okay. Ann Hepper, thank you for being here. I didn't expect you in here, but thank you. You've been showing back up. Hello, Pinkie and the Housewife. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, now let's go ahead and get started. Let me do this right quick. Sore, scratchy throat. I think that's how my baby Phoenix had. Ain't nothing to be wrong with him. If you hear Mama say, he'll say it. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Now, let me just put it out online. Okay, I had pulled up everything, had it all sitting and waiting. Power went out. The storm knocked everything out. I was sitting in my media room, eating and watching this movie, right? I think I must have fell asleep on it because I started on episode 7, but I told my daughter, I don't remember how they got there. What happened? I said, I must have fell asleep. So we went back and put me on 6, right? Episode 6. And I had to go all the way to the end, almost toward the end, to try to figure out, okay? But anyway, sitting there just eating. Everything went dark. The whole house went dark. Boom. Big thumb, boom. I'm sitting in a media room. You know, media rooms are dark, right? Your movie theater, dark. I'm sitting in there looking, oh, Lord. And my daughter came back when the power came on, got that situated in there for me. I didn't think about what went on here. I didn't think about the studio, what went on in here, right? So right before I get ready to go live, I'm coming in here to sit down, touching everything, nothing coming up. I forgot. Oh, the power went out. So my daughter told me what to do, got it back up, right? Everything I had lined up, gone. Gone. But thank God I kept it so I can remember to put the credit for it, right? So I kept a little file, sent it to myself, so I can remember to keep the credits, so I can put the credits for the videos, right? So for each one, I'm going to have to pull it up. And I did have a great video to show, because y'all know sometimes I love to show a short video, and I had a great one. But the thing about it, it's not here. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to go and look and make sure I can. So y'all going to give me a second. I'm going to find that. Just give me 1 second. Everything happens for a reason. Okay. So Oh, I need to do this anyway. Okay, let me just do this. Since I'm glad, I mean, everything is gone, guys. Oh, what did I do that for? I don't know why I did that. Okay, I'm getting it together, guys. Just give me a second. Just get a pinky a second. Okay? Y'all know I get it together. Because we're getting ready to have some fun. Especially with these files here. Let me just try to get it all back up. Okay, I got part of it. Okay, guys. Tell me what part of the neck of the woods are you all in? Where are you all tuning in from? I would love to know while I get this. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the Hillary and start with Hillary right now. What the heck is that? Is that something I put out? Oh, guys, sometimes I see a video, I'd be wondering, is that one of them? I came across a video of mine. I didn't even know it was mine. I actually had to wait and listen to it to make sure. I think, and I put that video out last year, and it was so fun going back just to listen to one of my videos. Okay, now here's Hillary. We're going to go ahead and start with Hillary. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got Hillary up here. So what is this? I don't know. I'm going to pull it behind. Oh, Hillary. Okay. Y'all ready? Okay, here we go. Let me get Hillary started. We're going to just jump on in because I had a short video for y'all to watch. I can't do that right now because, oh, wait, let me do this. And let me check and do this here. Okay. Okay, now this is Hillary. I'll let y'all see it. Okay. This is Hillary deposition. Hillary Clinton full deposition on Jeffrey Epstein ties before the House Oversight panel. Okay. And this was with PBS News. PBS News, guys. So we're going to do this. We're going to put it large and in charge. Now, y'all, let me see. This is a 4 hour, 35 minutes, but we're not going to do 4 hours. Y'all know we're not. No. Y'all know I don't go. I used to do that stuff a long time ago, do 4 hour lives, 5 hours. And I don't do that no more. Take too much out of me. We used to be having a rocking old time though. Y'all got to remember. We used to be rocking then, having so much fun. But we ain't doing that now. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and get on with Hillary. Let me just do this right quick. Let me see. Okay. Give me one second, guys. Okay, I'm ready, guys. Sorry about that. Sometimes it take a little while. Okay, we're getting ready. I don't know what's going on. Now, if anything happened because of the storm, because the storm is still going on, guys. Okay, so if anything happened because of the storm, uh, I'll be back. Ooh, Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say that, I'll be back. Okay, but I'll be back. Okay. Yes, I'll be back. Now, let me just say, so we're back and doing part 2 of Bill and Hillary Clinton. Their account, well, Hillary's. We're going to do Hillary today, but they're in front of today. This is when they did the House Oversight Committee on the efforts to ensure accountability regarding the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Ooh, thank God she's still in jail. This is just a look back at the past. It is a bipartisan demand for transparency. And you know, that administration, y'all know who administration I'm talking about, Orange Head, okay? They did not want to do a public hearing. They didn't want this open up to the public where the public can hear and see. And they tried to block it. They did. They really tried to do everything they can to block it. But Hillary, when she got through, she came out and told it. So they had no other choice. But they fought it every which way. But anyway, last week, historical depositions for former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton conducted only after the what I should say, the theater or the threat of contempt or all this going on. Congress marks a critical moment for the principle that no one is above the law was put into practice. Wait now, let me just tell you this. They tried to do roughshod. Oh, now, Hillary wasn't having it. Oh, no. Y'all got to remember, Hillary, she wasn't playing that game with him. Oh, Lord. That's why we're doing Hillary right now. Oh, Lord. That's just that little sneak peek of last night. Oh, my God. I could not stop thinking about it. I wanted to watch it, the whole, by myself. But I said, no, it'll take the fun out of it. So I got to wait and watch it together with my people. I got to watch it with y'all. I can't do that to you. I can't do that. So, okay. So we're going to watch it together, okay? The committee issued subpoenas on August 5th, 2025, after months of delays and no shows in the late 2025 and January of 2026. The Clintons only agreed to testify after the committee voted on a bipartisan basis to move forward with contempt of Congress charges. Them some nasty folks. Them some nasty folks in that nasty people. Nasty behaviors, nasty minds, nasty attitudes, nasty. Just nasty behavior, everything in that administration, okay? But Hillary Clinton was deposed on February the 26th, 2026, and Bill Clinton on February the 27th. So a day later, then they're going to do Bill, okay? But Hillary stood by. Man, she ain't playing that shit with y'all. She said, "Oh no, I'm not in the White House no more. So I can just let loose. Y'all start some shit, I'm gonna start." But Hillary didn't say that. I'm saying this. I'm putting it in my own words, okay? Y'all start some shit, I'm gonna start it right back. I'm gonna be on whatever that you on. What do they normally say? I'm gonna be on whatever time that you're on or whatever energy that you're on. I don't know. I know it's something like that. People be saying that. But I'm gonna be on whatever you on. I think that's how they say it, isn't it? Pinky, I'm watching the chat from my laptop. Melanie is live now on TikTok. Okay, thank you, Linda Gamble. Thank you. So I guess that's how you say it. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm going to be on whatever energy that you on. Hillary ain't taking that shit. She's going to go off on their ass. Okay? Now, let me see. They're going to talk about the Lolita Express. Y'all know what that is, right? He admitted to traveling on Epstein's plane. That's Bill on Epstein's plane, but maintained it was solely for Clinton Foundation humanitarian work. Okay. They talking about the AIDS program. Okay. We'll have to see now. But Bill talks too much. That's one thing we all agreed to last night. Bill, don't give them too much information. Just answer the question, yes or no. Just shut it up. And the woman was sitting beside him. She was trying her best, but Bill is a talkative one. He loved to talk. Bill, you need to be quiet, okay? But anyway, okay. The fence, let's talk about that. Okay. Bill, he denied ever visiting Epstein's private island or witnessing any signs of human trafficking or SA. Bill. I ain't saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. Okay? Because I got to stick to the points. Okay? Now, the total denial. Let's just get into the video and then I'll bring up some more points for y'all. Let's get into Hillary. Okay? 21 minutes into the side. We're getting ready to break Hillary voice right now. Ready? Ready, set, go. Okay? And y'all make sure you put in the comments. Put in the chat your comments on this. How you feel about this. Okay? I really, really want to know. I really want to know. If something pops out at you, whether you believe it or not, let me know. If you don't believe it, or you got to, I want everybody's reaction on how Hillary stood up. Hillary stood up for us. Hillary got up like this here. Oh, I'm just kidding, guys. But you know what I mean. She wasn't playing with him. She's going to walk out. She's leaving. I hear you, Hillary. Get up, girl. What? And I didn't like the way, what's that girl named? Nancy Mace? I think that's what's her name. Go at her, Hillary. Y'all said she wasn't playing with Nancy Mace. Some crazy old woman on the Oversight Committee. Hi, Lady Leo. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Lady Leo, you haven't missed nothing. I'm just getting ready to put her video on. I was giving y'all an update and talking and going over some much needed information. But now we're getting ready to play Hillary. And you know, Hillary ain't playing with them. Hillary ain't playing with these folks on that Oversight, them orange head administration people. She ain't playing with them. And we got to keep Bill quiet. Bill talks too much. Bill. Okay, here we go, guys. Let me see. I thought I had missed it. No, you haven't. You know, Hillary is riled up. Hillary ain't playing with their ass. No, Hillary ain't playing. Hillary said she ain't in the White House now, so she can cuss their ass out. She can go off on them. Hillary, she acting like she black. She acting like a black woman. Oh, my Lord. I'm just kidding, guys. Here we go. Y'all ready? Let me make sure that y'all can hear it, okay? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear this.
That there be amplification so that the witness both could hear the different members who are here, and certainly you all as you all are asking questions, but also so that the witness herself.
And I'm starting from the beginning. This is at the very beginning, okay?
Here, in a construct where you all now have videotape, it seems as though being able to provide that amplification to ensure we're heard would be relevant and important. We recognize that there was concern, at least initially expressed to us, that the court reporters might not be able to conduct their duties efficiently. They indicated that they could do so that was not actually an issue. And I think in the end, what we wanted to ensure is that there's clear amplification, not only of our own witness, but of all of the members who have traveled so far, to be able to ensure that everyone could be heard and that clear answers are given to questions.
Have you looked at Hillary? Hillary Hillary don't look like she ain't aged at all. Look at her. Bothered by y'all. She ain't bothered by them. She haven't aged at all. Look at her. Girl, I tell you. Her skin looks good. Her skin looks healthy. Girl, Hillary ain't thinking about these folks, them snot-nosed folks.
And I want to again state for the record, the microphones provided by the Clintons became an issue for the audio recording. So we want crystal clear audio and visuals of today's proceedings. So the microphones were removed. We'll take into account tomorrow. And I know many of us are hard hearing, so we want to make sure that everyone speaks loudly and all the questions are clearly understood. We'll do everything we can to accommodate that.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Nothing further. We'll begin. Good morning. This is a deposition of former Secretary of State Hillary R. Clinton, conducted by the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform under the authority granted to it pursuant to House Rule 10. Accordingly, House Rule 10 grants the committee broad jurisdiction for the committee to conduct investigations of any matter at any time. On July 23, 2025, the Subcommittee on Federal Law Enforcement of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform voted by voice to approve a motion directing the chairman to authorize and issue a subpoena to you for a deposition. On August 5th, 2025, Chairman Comer issued a subpoena for Secretary Clinton to appear today for a deposition in furtherance of the committee's investigation into the actions and investigations of Mr. Jeffrey Epstein and Ms. Ghislaine Maxwell. I will enter the original subpoena and corresponding cover letter from August 5, 2025, as well as the additional subpoena from December 15, 2025, determining a new date as Exhibit 1.
Excuse me, counsel. I want to, for the record.
Looking at Hillary, let me tell you something. Hillary sitting up there looking like she's a president. She is just as competent. She is just as strong. Let me take a drink on that one. Hillary look like she running shit. Look at her. Fluffing through them papers. Look like, hey, we need to get her up in there because Orange Head don't know what the fuck he doing. He's got shit all messed up. Shit. She's gonna run him on out of there. I bet you watching this wishing, damn, how can I can't look like her? Why can't I have a head full of hair like her? Why can't I have nice, shining, glowing skin like her? Why can't I be strong like her? Look at her. She looking like she's a boss. Hillary is a boss. That's what happens. Women, we are boss. We're boss ladies. Oh, he probably shitting in his pants right now. He probably shitting in his pants looking at Hillary. Because, you know, he can't stand her. And Hillary still look like she haven't aged yet. Look like she ready to tell him, I'm going to run against you again. Oh, that man wouldn't be resting. He'll be ordering McDonald's hamburgers all night. Eating up 20 to 35 hamburgers a day. Oh my God. Oh, I'm scared. She look good. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I don't care whether you're black or white or green or yellow. You can't be orange though, but black and white, green or yellow, brown. It don't matter. She looked like a boss. Orange man. He looking like you fucking up shit.
I want to put in one sentence from the cover letter to the subpoena, and that's the chairman's own definition of the scope of this investigation. He wrote, and I quote, "It's to conduct oversight of the federal government's enforcement of sex trafficking laws generally, and specifically its handling of the investigation and prosecution of Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell." Thank you.
As stated in the email correspondence with counsel for Secretary Clinton in negotiations for the scope regarding today's deposition, the scope agreed upon by counsel for the committee and counsel for Secretary Clinton stated, and I quote, "As conveyed to you in a letter from the chairman yesterday morning that you agreed to, the committee could not accept your proposed limitation on the scope of President Clinton's testimony. Accordingly, pursuant to the committee's investigation into the alleged mismanagement of the federal government's investigation into Mr. Jeffrey Epstein and Ms. Ghislaine Maxwell, the circumstances and subsequent investigations of Mr. Epstein's death, the operation of sex trafficking rings and ways of the federal government to effectively combat them, ways in which Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell sought to curry favor and exercise influence to protect their legal activities, and potential violations of ethics rules related to elected officials, the committee will ask President Clinton and Secretary Clinton all of its questions regarding Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, including but not limited to the personal relationships between the Clintons and Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell, and the ways in which Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell sought to curry favor and exercise influence, as well as the operation of sex trafficking rings and the ways for the federal government to effectively combat them without the proposed limitations on scope sought in your January 31, 2026 letter.
I will enter as Exhibit 2 the correspondence between Chairman Comer and counsel for President Clinton and Secretary Clinton. This correspondence includes the following letters. October 6, 2025, letter from David E. Kendall to Chairman Comer and Ranking Member Garcia. October 22, 2025, letter from Chairman Comer to David E. Kendall. November 3, 2025, letter from David E. Kendall to Chairman Comer and Ranking Member Garcia. November 21, 2025, letter from Chairman Comer to David E. Kendall. December 10, 2025, letter from David E. Kendall to Chairman Comer and Ranking Member Garcia. December 15, 2025, letter from Chairman Comer to David E. Kendall. January 3, 2026, letter from David E. Kendall to Chairman Comer and Ranking Member Garcia. January 8, 2026, letter from Chairman Comer to David E. Kendall. January 12, 2026, letter from Ashley Callan and David E. Kendall to Chairman Comer. January 13, 2026, letter from President William J. Clinton and Secretary Hillary R. Clinton to Chairman Comer, encompassing attached declarations under the penalty of perjury of both President Clinton and Secretary Clinton. January 20, 2026, letter from Ashley Callan and David E. Kendall to Chairman Comer. January 31, 2026, letter from Ashley Callan and Catherine M. Turner to Chairman Comer. And February 2, 2026, letter from Chairman Comer to Ashley.
Hi, sweet tea. Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you for being here, sweet tea. Y'all, you know what I want to tell you all right quick while I stop. I'm glad sweet tea came in so I can stop. I don't know whether you all are aware of it, that there are emails from Jeffrey, Epstein. And they're talking about hunting Black people, allegedly. But I saw the emails. Hunting Black people, allegedly. Okay, allegedly, in my opinion. But I saw the emails. I want to do. I'm going to try to do a live on that when we get through with all this. Hunting Black people. They're talking about it in emails. You know, like all those different movies people been talking about, like Eyes Wide Shut or Open Wide or whatever you call those movies, and Hungry Games and all that stuff, because I don't watch it. But anyway, I did watch Eyes Wide Shut. I think that's what you call it. I did watch that while I was out for that whole month. I did watch it because I heard somebody talking about it. So I wanted to make sure, but I can't remember the name of it. Eyes Wide Shut or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, we're going to talk about that. That's some sick, sadistic stuff. Hunting people. Y'all wrap your brains around that one. Wrap your brains around it. Hunting Black people. Okay, that's all I got to say. Okay, in emails and all that crap and all those papers. Yeah, there's some stuff we haven't even scratched the surface of yet.
Ashley Callan and Catherine M. Turner. The committee originally noticed the deposition on December 12, 2025 for Secretary Clinton to appear before the committee on December 18, 2025. I will mark that notice as Exhibit 3. I will mark as Exhibit 4 the postponed notice date December 16, 2025 for a deposition of Secretary Clinton to occur on January 14, 2026. Secretary Clinton did not appear for her deposition on January 14, 2026. I will enter as Exhibit 5 the transcript for the deposition for which Secretary Clinton failed to appear. The committee noticed a committee business meeting on January 14, 2026 to consider the contempt report for Secretary Hillary R. Clinton to be held on January 21st, 2026. I will mark that notice as Exhibit 6. I will mark as Exhibit 7 the contempt report for Secretary Hillary R. Clinton voted favorably out of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. I will mark as Exhibit 8 the final roll call vote sheet on favorably reporting the contempt report of Secretary Hillary R. Clinton out of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. The committee noticed today's deposition on February 19, 2026. I will enter the notice for this deposition as Exhibit 9. I will enter as Exhibit 10 an email thread between Committee on Oversight and Government Reform staff and counsel for President Clinton and Secretary Clinton. The email thread confirms the date, time, and location, among other terms, of today's deposition. Additionally, this email thread clearly states the agreed upon terms, including but not limited to video recording, no predetermined time limit, and scope. Can the witness please state her name for the record?
Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Thank you. My name is Billy Grant. I am the Deputy Chief Counsel for Investigations for Chairman James Comer.
It's about time.
Under the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform's rules, you are allowed to have counsel present to advise you during this deposition. Do you have counsel representing you in a personal capacity present with you today?
I do.
Will all counsel please identify themselves for the record?
David Kendall, Williams and Connolly, LLP.
Catherine Turner, Williams and Connolly, LLP.
Cheryl Mills, Counsel to the Secretary.
Thank you. For the record, starting with the majority staff, can the additional staff members please introduce themselves with their name, title, and affiliation?
Jack Emmer, Chief Counsel for Investigations for Chairman Comer.
Peter Spector, Deputy Director of Oversight for Chairman Comer.
Daniel Ashworth, General Counsel for Chairman Comer.
Ryan Giacchetti, Chief Counsel for Chairman Comer.
Will Harness, Professional Staff Member for Chairman Comer.
Emily Feierabend, Counsel for Chairman Comer.
Melvin Soto, Digital Director for Chairman Comer.
Allison Tolan, Counsel for Chairman Comer. Hannah Caffey, Professional Staff Member, Chairman Comer.
Professional staff member.
Chairman Comer.
Thank you.
Could you use the microphone?
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you over there. Could you please repeat your name?
Austin Hacker.
No, this gentleman here in the black.
Mark Oren,
Thank you.
Staff Director, Chairman Comer.
And the next one?
Jasmine Collins, Communications Director for Staff. Mallory Kovar, Chief Clerk and Director of Operations, Chairman Comer. Ashley Vineyard, Deputy Staff Director for Chairman Comer.
Would the majority members please announce themselves for the record?
Congresswoman Nancy Mace, South Carolina.
Congressman Eric Burleson, Southwest Missouri. Michael Cloud, 27th District of Texas.
Lori Bobert, Colorado Sports District. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna, Florida 13.
William Timmons, South Carolina Sports Congressional District. Rep. John McGuire, Virginia 5th District.
Will the minority staff please identify themselves for the record? Would the minority members please announce themselves for the record?
Ranking Member Robert Garcia. Representative Steelhouse, Cimarron, Virginia. Representative James Walkinshaw, Virginia 11.
Representative Yasmin Ansari, Arizona's 3rd District.
And I'm James Comer, Chairman of the Committee from Kentucky.
Thank you all. Secretary Clinton, before we begin, I would like to go over the ground rules for this deposition. The questioning will proceed in rounds. The majority will ask questions for an hour, and then the minority will have an opportunity to ask.
They're going to go over some ground rules, and they're going to be the first ones, that administration, to break every damn ground rule there is. I don't know why they stand it, because you can't trust them to do any damn thing. They lie and cheat. So, wow, we just have to listen to it, because they ain't going to follow it through.
Questions for an hour, if they choose. To the extent members have questions for the witness, they will be propounded during their side's respective rounds. The clock will stop if you need to confer with counsel, your counsel is speaking, and when members or staff are speaking during the opposing side's round of questions. We will alternate back and forth until there are no more questions. Do you understand?
I do.
There is a court reporter taking down everything I say and everything you say to make a written record of the deposition. For the record to be clear, please wait until the staffer questioning you finishes each question before you begin your answer, and the staffer will wait until you finish your response before proceeding to the next question. Further, to ensure the court reporter can properly record this deposition, please speak clearly, concisely, and slowly. Also, the court reporter cannot record nonverbal answers, such as nodding or shaking your head, so it is important that you answer each question with an audible verbal answer. Do you understand?
I do.
Exhibits may be entered into the record. Majority exhibits will be identified numerically. Minority exhibits will be identified alphabetically. Do you understand?
I do.
We want you to answer our questions in the most complete and truthful manner possible, so we'll take our time. If you have any questions or do not fully understand the question, please let us know. We will attempt to clarify, add context to, or rephrase our questions. If we ask about specific conversations or events in the past and you are unable to recall the exact words or details, you should testify to the substance of those conversations or events to the best of your recollection. If you recall only a part of a conversation or event, you should give us your best recollection of those events or parts of conversations that you do recall. Do you understand?
I do.
You are required by law to answer questions from Congress truthfully. This also applies to questions posed by congressional staff in this deposition. Do you understand?
I do.
If at any time you knowingly make false statements, you could be subject to criminal prosecution, including but not limited to perjury. Do you understand?
I do.
This includes both knowingly
That's
providing
how you
false testimony, but also stating that you do not recall or remember something when in fact you do. Do you understand?
I do.
Furthermore, you cannot tell half-truth or exclude information necessary to make statements accurate. You are required to provide all information that would make your response truthful. A deliberate failure to disclose information can constitute a false statement. Do you understand?
I do.
Is there any reason you are unable to provide truthful testimony in today's interview?
No.
Please note that if you wish to assert a privilege over any statement today, that assertion must comply with the rules of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. Pursuant to that, Committee Rule 16C1 states, for the chair to consider assertions of privilege over testimony or statements, witnesses or entities must clearly state the specific privilege being asserted and the reason for the assertion on or before the scheduled date of testimony or appearance. For the purposes of the deposition, objections must be stated concisely and in a non-argumentative and non-suggestive manner. If the witness refuses to answer a question to preserve a privilege, the committee may seek a ruling from the chair. If the chair overrules any such objection, the witness shall be ordered to answer. If the witness continues to refuse to answer a question despite being ordered to do so, the witness may be subject to sanction. Do you understand?
Insofar as I understand the rules of privilege, I don't have any specific knowledge of your committee's ideas of privilege.
Understood. Ordinarily, we take a 5-minute break at the end of each hour of questioning, but if you need a longer break or a break before that, please let us know and we will be happy to accommodate. However, to the extent that there is a pending question, we would ask that you finish answering the question before we take a break. Do you understand?
Yes.
Finally, I will note for everyone here today that the contents of what we discuss in the deposition is confidential under the House deposition regulation. Under the rules, the chairman and ranking minority member shall consult before any release of testimony or transcripts, including portions thereof. This means it is a violation of House and committee rules to disclose content of the deposition prior to its official release. For this reason, the marked exhibits that we will use today will remain with the court reporter so that they can go into the official transcript, and any copies of those exhibits will be kept at the table or returned to us when we wrap up. Can the court reporter please swear in the witness?
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this deposition will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, now let's get
Do you have
to
any
it.
other questions before we begin?
Yes, I have an opening statement that I would like to deliver before we begin. Mr. Chairman, ranking member, members of the committee, as a former United States Senator, I have respect for legislative oversight, and I expect its exercise, as do the American people, to be principled and fearless in pursuit of truth and accountability. As we all know, however, too often congressional investigations are partisan political theater, which is an abdication of duty and an insult to the American people. This committee justified its subpoena to me based on its assumption that I have information regarding the investigations into the criminal activities of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Let me be as clear as I can. I do not. As I stated in my sworn declaration on January 13th, I had no idea about their criminal activities. I do not recall ever encountering Mr. Epstein. I never flew on his plane or visited his island, homes, or offices. I have nothing to add to that. Like every decent person, I've been horrified by what we have learned about their crimes. It's unfathomable that Mr. Epstein initially got a slap on the wrist in 2008, which allowed him to continue his predatory practices for another decade. Mr. Chairman, your investigation is supposed to be assessing the federal government's handling of the investigations and prosecutions of Epstein and his crimes. You subpoenaed 8 law enforcement officials, all of whom ran the Department of Justice or directed the FBI when Epstein's crimes were investigated and prosecuted. Of those 8, only 1 appeared before the committee. 5 of the 6 former attorneys general were allowed to submit brief statements stating they had no information to provide. You have held 0 public hearings, refused to allow the media to attend them, including today, despite espousing the need for transparency on dozens of occasions. You have made little effort to call the people who show up most prominently in the Epstein files. And when you did, not a single Republican member showed up for Les Wexner's deposition.
This institutional failure is designed to protect one political party and one public official, rather than to seek truth and justice for the victims and survivors, as well as inform the public who want to get to the bottom of this matter. My heart breaks for the survivors, and I am furious on their behalf. I have spent my life advocating for women and girls. I have worked hard to stop the terrible abuses so many women and girls face here and around the world, including human trafficking, forced labor, domestic violence, and sexual slavery. For too long, these have been largely invisible crimes or not treated as crimes at all. But the survivors are real and they are entitled to justice. In Southeast Asia, I met girls as young as 12 years old who had been forced into prostitution and raped repeatedly. Some were dying of AIDS. In Eastern Europe, I met mothers who told me how they lost their daughters to trafficking and did not know where to turn. In settings around the world, I met survivors trying to rebuild their lives and help rescue others with little support from people in power who too often turned a blind eye and a cold shoulder. If you are new to this issue, let me tell you, Jeffrey Epstein was a heinous individual, but he's far from alone. This is not a one-off tabloid sensation or political scandal. It is a global scourge with an unimaginable human toll. My work combating sex trafficking goes back to my days as First Lady. I worked to pass the first federal legislation against trafficking and was proud that my husband signed the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, which increased support for survivors and gave prosecutors better tools for going after traffickers. As Secretary of State, I appointed a former federal prosecutor, Lucy DeBaca, to ramp up our global anti-trafficking efforts. I oversaw nearly 170 anti-trafficking programs in 70 nations and directly pressed foreign leaders to crack down on trafficking networks in their countries. Every year, we published a global report to shine a light on abuses. The findings of those reports triggered sanctions on countries failing to make progress, so they became a powerful diplomatic tool to drive concrete action. I insisted that the United States be included in the report for the first time ever in 2011. Because we must hold ourselves not just to the same standard as the rest of the world, but to an even higher one. Sex trafficking and modern slavery should have no place in America, none. Infuriatingly, the Trump administration gutted the Trafficking in Persons Office at the State Department, cutting more than 70% of the career civil and foreign service experts who worked so hard to prevent trafficking crimes. The annual trafficking report required by law was delayed for months. The message from the Trump administration to the American people and the world could not be clearer. Combating human trafficking is no longer an American priority under the Trump White House. That's a tragedy, it's a scandal, and it deserves vigorous investigation and oversight. A committee endeavoring to stopping human trafficking would seek to understand what specific steps are needed to fix a legal system that allowed Epstein to get away with his crimes. A committee run by elected officials with a commitment to transparency would ensure the full release of all the files. It would ensure that the lawful redactions of those files protected the victims and survivors, not powerful men and political allies. It would get to the bottom of reports that DOJ withheld FBI interviews in which a survivor accuses President Trump of crimes. It would subpoena anyone who asked on which night there would be the wildest party on Epstein's island. It would demand testimony from prosecutors from Florida, New York, and the Department of Justice about why they gave Epstein a sweetheart deal and chose not to pursue others who may have been implicated in his crimes. And it would demand that Secretary Rubio and Attorney General Bondi testify about why this administration is abandoning survivors and playing into the hands of traffickers. It would seek out advocates and law enforcement officials on the front lines of the fight against human trafficking and ask them for support. And it would put forth legislation to provide more resources and force this administration to act. But that's not happening. Instead, you have compelled me to testify, fully aware that I have no knowledge that would assist your investigation in order to distract from President Trump's actions and to cover them up despite legitimate calls for answers. If this committee is serious about learning the truth about Epstein's trafficking crimes, it would not rely on press gaggles to get answers from our current president on his involvement. It would ask him directly under oath about the tens of thousands of times he shows up in the Epstein files. If the majority was serious, it would not waste time on fishing expeditions. There is too much to be done. What is being held back? Who is being protected? And why the cover-up? So my challenge to you, Mr. Chairman, and members of this committee is the same challenge I put to myself throughout my long service to this nation. How to be worthy of the trust of the American people that they have given to you. They expect statesmanship, not gamesmanship, leading, not grandstanding. And they expect you to use your power to get to the truth and to do more to help survivors of Epstein's crimes, as well as the millions more who are victims of sex trafficking in this country and around the world. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I would also like to request that the video of this deposition be made available within 24 hours, as it has been for other witnesses.
Woo! Hillary, she did it. She did it. She did her thing, girl. She did it. She ain't holding back. And y'all know these I hate to say it, these Republicans on this administration, they're just dumb as shit. Oh, but she did it. She did it. She did it. It is a cover-up. It is, in my opinion. Hillary, go. You go, Hillary. Woo! Didn't she do it? She called them all out. Okay. Now, she did talk about the that sweetheart deal. Okay. Remember in 2008, there was a sweetheart deal. It refers to the non-prosecution agreement, which is the NPA, that allowed Jeffrey Epstein to resolve a massive federal sex trafficking investigation by pleading guilty to much lighter state-level charges. And girl, let me tell you about this. I'm gonna just put it in my own words, okay? He was able to leave the jailhouse when he get ready every morning and come back when he got ready every afternoon, and never on time, in my opinion. Able to go jotting off wherever you want to, still doing what he was always doing, and bribing other folks by throwing money at them. Yes, he was. He did that. Yes, he did. And my opinion is allegedly. So y'all gonna have to find out for yourself what I'm telling you. That deal has been a primary focus of the Oversight Committee for 2026 hearing, where both Bill and Hillary was recently deposed regarding their knowledge of these events. But they never deposed the orange-haired man. They never deposed Andrew Acosta that helped sweep this under the rug, in my opinion. They never deposed all the other people that was involved in this. But because somebody with the orange hair, just jealous, envy, and just can't get them out of his brain cells. They living rent-free in his head, and that hair of his, right? He can't get over them. He can't get over them. He can't get over how Hillary made him look every time they did a debate. He can't get over all this here stuff. Okay? The man is not good. Okay, but anyway. People doing everything to put themselves on the line just to cover up for somebody that would to run the bus over them. The minute you don't do something he asks, he's going to run the bus over you, allegedly speaking, okay? Run the bus over you. You're going to get ran over by the bus, okay? All right, but that's the sweetheart deal. But the U.S. attorney, which is Andrew Acosta, the agreement is often cited as a failure of justice because it allowed a suspected PPPP filer. I have to say it in a way that they won't know what I'm saying. A PPPP filer. Let me see, can I say it? I don't know, have y'all ever heard of pig language or pig Latin? Allophile. Let me see how to say it. I used to know how to speak it all the time That was our language when I was growing up. Elephile. I think it's elephile. Elephile. I have to make sure. I have to ask one of my brothers or sisters. I probably have to ask my sister because, okay. But anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Right? I hope so. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. But that what I should say, that PPP filer of dozens of minors, kids, like Hillary said, these are kids, to serve a minimum sentence. And when I say minimum, I really mean minimum. Okay, Epstein pleaded guilty to 2 state felony counts of solicitation, prostitution, including one involving a minor. Okay, y'all see me rolling my eyes on that one, right? He was sentenced to 18 months, but only served 13 months in a county jail. But don't y'all think he served his time sitting in a jail cell every day? No, he served his time getting out of lockup, putting on his street clothes, going to work doing what he do best. Doing what he do best. Y'all know what I mean? Doing what he do best. And then coming back in, he's supposed to have been in at a certain time. He came in when he got ready. He just slept there. He didn't live there. He was, y'all need, okay? Now, they call it work release. Work release. Most notably, he was granted work release, allowing him to leave the jail up to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week to work at his office. Who the hell get all that? 12 hours a day, 6 days a week to work in his office? Oh, hell, just open up the jail and let everybody go to work. You got a job, you got a job, you got a job, you go to work and come back in 12 hours. When you come back in 12 hours, it's time for them to turn off the lights. You're already showered, probably in your big giant shower, okay? And change your clothes, got all lotioned up, brush your teeth. Now, time for me to go back and lay down in the jailhouse now. You never had to shower at the prison. Never had to wash your teeth or use that bathroom because you use the bathroom before you get there and you just hold it to the next morning. So you don't have to sit there and let everybody see your booty crack. Y'all, that's the sweetheart deal, okay? But board, okay, let me just tell you this. The deal granted immunity not only to Epstein, but also to the 4 named co-conspirators and any other potential co-conspirator, effectively shutting down the FBI's investigation into the wider network. Now, it wasn't just him. It was a wider network at the time. So, got to remember, they shut it down. No co-conspirator, no potential co-conspirator, nobody went to, y'all hear that? Now, you can't tell me that. That's a sweetheart deal on a sweetheart deal. Okay? I just want y'all to know that. Okay, let me get back to Hillary, because Hillary, she ain't taking that mess.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. The time reads 11:34 a.m. The majority's time will begin now. Madam Secretary, in the interest of efficiency here today, I'm going to ask you one question followed by a list of names. The question can be answered yes or no. If you do indicate yes to any individual, I will come back and revisit that at the end. The question is, have you ever communicated with any of the following people relating to Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell? Richard Kahn.
No.
Darren Endyke.
No.
Sarah Kellen.
No.
Doug Band.
Not that I recall.
That's how you answer, Bill. No.
Have I ever talked to her about this in preparation for this hearing? I have.
Outside of that,
Not that I recall.
Noam Chomsky,
No,
Leslie Groff,
no,
Nadia Marcinkova,
No,
John Luke Brunel,
no, I don't know most of these people. Should I tell you that I don't know who they are, or just tell you I never talked to them?
just so you never talked to,
Okay.
that's fine. Alan Dershowitz,
No,
Kathy Rumler,
no,
Bill Richardson,
no,
George Mitchell,
no,
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew,
no.
Peter Mandelson,
Prince Andrew. Y'all just heard that name, don't you? Prince Andrew. Mm-mm-mm. He ain't lost it all. Fooling around with Epstein. He ain't lost it all. Good for him. We don't need one of them kind of men that chase after little kids or girls anyway in power. Ooh.
No,
Reed Hoffman,
no,
Karina Shuliak,
no,
Bill Gates,
no,
Ehud Barak,
no,
Woody Allen,
no,
Sandy Berger,
no,
Tired of them.
Jess
He's
Staley,
bored with
No.
their stupid questions.
Paul Morris,
no,
Leon Black,
no,
Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayam,
no,
Leslie Wexner,
no,
Jack Kessler,
no,
Mark Middleton,
no,
Harvey Weinstein,
no,
Ellie de Rothschild,
That's
No.
a rough child again.
Ariane de Rothschild,
no,
Lynn Forrester de Rothschild,
no,
any other members of the Rothschild family,
no,
I got to see exactly
Glenn
what
Dubin.
they're in
no,
the Rothschild because they name keep
Eva
popping
Anderson
up.
Dubin,
All of
no,
them.
Casey Wasserman,
no,
Larry Visoki,
no,
David Rogers,
no,
Ira Magaziner,
no,
Daniel Gilbert,
no,
Karen Ewing,
no,
Stacy Plaskett,
not that I recall.
Howard Lutnick,
No, not that I recall.
Steve Bannon.
I don't know if I've ever met him. You all have to introduce me.
I take that as a no.
Just to be absolutely clear, you've asked if I've ever communicated about Jeffrey Epstein, a man I never met, with any of these people, most of whom I've never heard of and certainly not met. That's the premise of your question.
Mr. Epstein or Mrs. Maxwell.
You did not say that.
I did say that in the beginning. I will repeat the question.
No, that's okay, but I didn't talk about her with any of these people either. I
Understood.
barely knew her.
David Gergen,
No,
Elon Musk,
no,
Abigail Johnson,
no,
Jeff Bezos,
no,
Larry Page,
no,
Sergey Brin,
no,
Louis Freeh,
no,
a new member arrived. Would they please introduce themselves for the record?
Wesley Bell, direct from Missouri First Missouri.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
Hillary.
Could you read back the initial premise of your question? Because I too did not hear.
Yes, ma'am. Have you ever communicated with any of the following people relating to Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell?
I didn't hear the Maxwell piece, but we could ask her. It doesn't matter. It's the same answer, but I did not hear the Maxwell name in there.
Understood.
What she said, doesn't matter. I like the way Hillary is.
So was the last name you said Larry Page?
Give me Sergey Brin.
The last name I stated was Louis Freeh. you indicated no, is that correct?
I think you need free?
Free, yes, ma'am.
No, no,
And Sarah K.
No. She said,
and these are all to the best of my recollection. As I say, many of these people I've never heard of. Most of these people I've never had a relationship with, although I know their name. Some of them are deceased. But I was not communicating about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, as I understand what you're asking me, contacting people about them. That did not happen.
Do that.
Is there anyone that you had a conversation with about Ghislaine Maxwell?
Oh, I'm sure I've talked about Ghislaine Maxwell, and especially in preparation for this hearing.
And outside of conversations with your counsel, what did you talk about Ms. Maxwell?
I don't recall any conversations about Ms. Maxwell, but I knew her casually, so I can't tell you that I never had a conversation that mentioned Ghislaine Maxwell's name, because I don't recall that.
Understood. And
It was notable to be remembered.
you say that you knew Ms. Maxwell casually. What does that mean?
Just what I said. I knew her primarily as someone who dated someone that I knew.
And who was that individual?
Ted Waite.
And who was Ted Waite?
Ted Waite was a successful, as I recall, software developer.
And roughly when would the first time Ms. Maxwell would have come up in relation to Mr. Waite?
I don't recall, but perhaps sometime around 2010, because he was invited to my daughter's wedding and she was his guest.
Have you ever spoken with Ms. Maxwell personally yourself?
I'm sure I have, yes.
Did you estimate on how many occasions?
Not many. I didn't see her very often.
When would the
Hillary is
first
strong.
occasion have been?
I have no recollection.
Hillary said, y'all need to, come on, go find something else, somebody else to play with.
Did your first interaction with Ms. Maxwell occur while President Clinton was president of the United States and you were First Lady of the United States?
No, I do not recall ever meeting her while Bill was still in the White House.
Did Mr. Waite ever inform you what Ms. Maxwell did for a living?
Not that I recall.
Did anyone ever indicate to you what Ms. Maxwell did for a living?
Not that I recall.
What she did for a living, she was a pimp, just in my opinion.
When would the last time have been that you either communicated with Ms. Maxwell, even if not directly yourself, but been around Ms. Maxwell?
The best of my recollection is at the wedding in 2010.
I shouldn't say pimp. She was a horrible demon.
Would you consider Ms. Maxwell a friend?
No,
Pimp is too good.
Would you consider her a friend of President Clinton?
he'll have to answer that.
working for the devil himself?
Would you consider Ms. Maxwell a friend of your daughter?
She probably was friendlier with her than I was, because I didn't see her very often.
How often would your daughter have seen Ms. Maxwell?
I have no idea. But again, it was in the context of her being in a relationship with Ted Waite.
Anyone else in your family have a relationship of some kind with Ms. Maxwell?
Well, that's my family. You asked about Bill and Chelsea.
And just to make clear for the record, have you ever met Jeffrey Epstein?
I do not recall ever meeting Jeffrey Epstein. In preparation for this hearing, I was told that he attended an event at the White House that was put on by the White House Historical Association. But I have no recollection of that.
Nobody wants to remember that little old man. He wasn't even cute or nothing. That little old man, he was just buying his way into.
And only that one time at the White House Historical Association?
That's the only time that I'm aware of that I might have possibly been in the same room with him.
He ain't rememberable.
Did you have an initial impression of Mr. Epstein?
I have no recollection of Mr. Epstein. I just told that he was in a room at a dinner that we were hosting for the White House Historical
She hosts
Association.
so many dinners. She ain't thinking about that man.
What was your understanding of what Mr. Epstein did for work?
I knew nothing about him. He was there as an invited guest by the White House Historical Association. That's my best recollection.
And no one else informed you of what Mr. Epstein did for work?
No, but we had hundreds and thousands of people who came to the White House. I was not informed of what people did or didn't do for work, especially someone that I never
As
even
a busy woman.
had a conversation with.
Have time.
Do you
That's not
know
buying
who
you.
invited Mr. Epstein to the White House?
I can only tell you what I know, which is that he apparently was a guest invited by the White House Historical Association to attend a dinner to thank people who gave money to the White House Historical.
I love what you just said, Sweet Tea. These are elementary questions written by the Orange Man. So it seems, because these questions don't, because you know what? I'm going to just say something. I was thinking to myself, the person that's asking these questions, he's not prepared. He is not prepared for a person like Hillary. Got to remember who Hillary is, what she did, what she done, where she come. Oh, he ain't prepared for her. Hillary is, if she wasn't on this committee, she would eat him up for chopped dinner. It's like, this is a joke in a circus. It is. You see how bored Hillary is. She can't hold that poker face. She is just, it's like, am I playing with a 10-year-old here? Did you send your 10-year-old friend to ask me these questions? Because he's not prepared. He don't really know what he's doing. And he's not even competent in what he's doing. Hillary is just, do I have another 10-year-old that I got to sit here and play with, just like I did on that debate stage with the orange-haired man? He brought out his 10-year-old persona, his 10-year-old self, you know, because he acts like he's 10 years old. And then I guess she's saying to herself, he got another. I don't know what to say. I was thinking that same thing to myself. I sure was.
Association for the upkeep and maintenance of the White House. That's what I was informed of in preparation for coming here.
Yes, ma'am. And understanding we focused the last few questions on your time in the White House with President Clinton. After that time period of President Clinton's administration, did anyone ever tell you what Mr. Epstein did for a living?
I don't recall ever talking about Mr. Epstein. He was not on my radar. He was not somebody that I had any connection to.
How many times did you ask her the same question? She just told you this.
When President Clinton was traveling with Mr. Epstein on Clinton Foundation business, no one associated with the foundation at that time discussed Mr. Epstein with you?
Not that I recall. I was not involved with the foundation. I was a senator from New York, and I was deeply committed to my work, and it became one of the most intense experiences of my life when we were attacked on 9/11. I was not involved with what was happening to create the foundation, to create the work that was done to get low-cost drugs for AIDS. I knew about the work. I didn't know about the details.
Understood. And to be clear, you never had any communication yourself with Mr. Epstein, whether that be face-to-face interaction, phone calls, emails, text messages?
You can answer it again.
I have no recollection in any way of ever having any conversation at the White House or in any other place or on any kind of device of any sort. I knew nothing about him.
And when did you learn of Mr. Epstein's 2006 indictment and subsequent arrest leading to his incarceration in 2008?
I have no idea. I was not paying attention. I was running for re-election in 2006. I ran for president in 2007, 2008. I don't know that I ever learned about it until much later when more things came out about him.
Understood. And when did you first learn of Mr. Epstein's arrest in 2019?
Probably when it happened, because it was headline news. I'm sure I, like everybody else, saw it in the press.
And in seeing that in the press, did you discuss Mr. Epstein or his case at the time with anyone?
I'm sure we did, because it was a, big story.
And Mr. Epstein died in custody following his 2019 arrest. When would you have learned of his death?
Whenever it was reported.
What do that have to do with
Going back
anything?
slightly a question, you said you likely would have talked to someone regarding his arrest in 2019. Who would you have discussed that with?
Whoever was around. I mean, it was a big story, as you recall. It was a very big story. I don't have any specific recollections. It wasn't something that I was particularly focused on, but it was a big story.
And going back to Ms. Ghislaine Maxwell, when did you learn of her arrest in 2021?
Again, whenever it was reported as happening.
And did you discuss that with anyone?
I'm sure I did. It was another big story.
And who would those discussions have been with?
I don't have any specific recollection.
You don't have no questions. Those are questions.
So moving forward in time just a little bit.
These questions are made up by somebody. I'm not going to say their name. It seems like somebody with orange hair. Because they don't make no sense. My baby Phoenix can make up better questions. Yeah. They don't make no sense. They're asking the same questions over and over. The same thing over and over. And she gives you the same answer over and over. Move on. Okay? You could have called somebody else to testify on the Epstein knowledge or how they know him. There's a lot of people you could have called. A lot of people. What about those what about some of those people that are potential co-conspirators or for named co-conspirators? What about, I ain't gonna say it, Orange Head himself. What about, it's a lot of people I can name, but I don't want to say the names. But what? I don't know how to just shake my head on that one. I'm just going to give it up and just shake my head on it, okay?
You were Secretary of State under President Obama, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And it was during his first term, 2009 to 2013?
What does Obama have to do with this?
And
President
after you
Obama.
completed your time as Secretary of State, did you return in any role to the Clinton Foundation?
I did. I became active in it at that point.
And by being active in it, could you describe that for us, please?
I tried to support the work that Bill and my daughter and the team had done and, look for ways to.
Hi, Teffy. Thank you for coming in. And thank you. I'm glad to see you. This Hillary, she ain't playing no games with these people. Okay? This is good. Sweetie, exactly. You're right, girl.
Be helpful. It was something that I wanted to make sure I could support.
And please correct me if I'm wrong. You rejoined as a board member, is that right?
And it might have been the first time I was a board member. I don't remember. Either the first or the second time. Yeah.
And speaking of, it sounds like you were heavily involved when you returned to the foundation, or I guess started with the foundation at this point. In trying to accomplish those goals and initiatives, what were you doing, broadly speaking, on a daily basis, monthly basis, that sort of thing?
Well, I wanted to start a program about early learning for kids. And so we started something called Too Small to Fail, which I was very actively involved in with my daughter. And we worked with pediatricians and other people to help parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles read, talk, and sing to their children so that they could help build brain cells. That was a major priority of mine. And I'm very proud of what we've built and the difference that it's made in millions of kids' lives. I certainly did what I could to support the work that we do overseas through the Clinton Global Initiative, which has had a terrific track record of bringing people together to work in partnerships, to make commitments, to try to improve everything from, clean water to solar energy to improved education, all of the priorities that the partners we have bring to us that we try to help them with.
And thank you for that. Madam Secretary. We've had a few members join us. Would you guys please announce yourselves for the record?
Yes, Pat Fallon, 4th District of Texas. Scott Perry, 10th District of Pennsylvania.
Thank you both.
You're the last person.
Mr. Perry, Scott Perry.
Thank you.
And Madam Secretary, as a board member, what type of responsibilities does that entail?
Oh, attending the board meetings, approving the agenda of work for the year, the budget that goes with it, that kind of responsibility.
And you mentioned the Clinton Global Initiative. Just for clarity, I will likely refer to that as CGI as we go forward with this. CGI is a part of the Clinton Foundation. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And what was your role with CGI at this time period, right after you left being Secretary of State?
It was, again, to support the staff that put together both the annual meeting, but also worked during the year with our partners who'd made commitments to help them fulfill their commitments. So, if there were a meeting about a commitment that was made to get clean water to some very remote place, if there were a meeting, I might be invited to it to meet with the partners, to encourage them. It was mostly around the work that happens throughout the year in preparation for the annual meeting.
And forgive my ignorance, please. What happens at those annual meetings?
The annual meetings are a way for people to come together to make commitments that they have previewed with our staff. So I'll give you an example. Probably around, I don't know, somewhere between 12 and 15 years ago, I don't know specifically, Matt Damon, the actor, came to the Clinton Global Initiative because he said he really cared about clean water. And could we connect him with people that he could work with to get more clean water in more places in the world? So we did. We connected him to this gentleman who was a real expert on clean water. They started working together. They created something called water.org, which was a Clinton Global Initiative commitment that was made at the annual meeting. And then our staff worked with them. And I think it's fair to say that, they've been one of the most successful organizations in actually delivering clean water. But it's that kind of work. It's people who might have a good idea. Maybe they've got some resources. Maybe they have some experience. I'll give you another idea. So Procter & Gamble called us and said, one of our scientists, one of our chemists in the UK has created this packet of chemicals that can literally make the dirtiest water clean enough to drink. But we don't know what to do with it because we're a consumer company that sells products to middle-class people. This is something that would go to the very poor. What do we do with it if we come to CGI? Can you connect us with somebody who can help us? So we connected them with World Vision, and I think maybe one or two other organizations. And so they used the packets to literally go around the world cleaning water. And Bill went with them, Chelsea went with them, and they would go to rural Myanmar or rural Kenya, and they would take this bucket of dirty water and they'd dump the packet in, and then my daughter and my husband would drink it to show that it was clean. And that was a CGI commitment. We bring together governments, local, state, national, businesses, philanthropies, NGOs, academics, anybody who has a good idea that we can help them work on and try to fulfill. That's what we do.
And thank you. The Clinton Foundation started shortly thereafter.
I love what you just said, Taffy. That is so hilarious. What a waste of her time now. Do you think the robot that's married to the orange man in the White House could answer at least one of those questions they gave her? No. I don't think so. And I hate to say this because y'all know I don't mean to be mean. I don't think I could understand what she's said anyway. I'm not being mean, but I don't think she could understand what he's saying. Although he's like he wasn't prepared and he don't know what he's talking about. He's not prepared and he just rattling off some stuff that somebody gave him that didn't know what they was doing. So, and he haven't even looked at the questions first of all. And if she did answer, I don't think she would know what she's talking about. And furthermore, I don't think you would understand what she's saying. And I don't think she understands what she would be saying herself. So no. But I agree with you. I liked your comment in the chat. We ain't being ugly, are we?
When President Clinton left office, is that correct?
That's correct.
And CGI started a few years later, is that right?
I think that's right. I think it started maybe 2005, maybe. I'm not sure.
And does CGI or the foundation more broadly perform any work in sex trafficking or human trafficking around the world?
There may be partners who make commitments about that. We have thousands and thousands of commitments. So I can't answer yes or no, but it might be an area that some of our commitment makers would be focused on.
And how did the foundation, the Clinton Foundation, how did that idea come to fruition? Was that your idea, President Clinton's idea?
Oh, no, the Clinton Foundation was all Bill's idea. He set it up as he was leaving the White House. It was the entity that raised the money to build the Clinton Presidential Center, and then to carry on the work that he wanted to do. You know, shortly after he got out of the White House, he and Nelson Mandela were asked to come to the annual AIDS conference to see whether the two of them could do something that needed to be done, which was to try to stem the epidemic of HIV/AIDS. And so Bill started out trying to figure out how to deal with this problem and came to the conclusion that the best way would be to lower the price of the drugs that were being used in the States but were too expensive to be used around the world in order to treat more people. And I really give huge credit to both Bill's idea about how to do that, but also huge credit to President George W. Bush, because when President Bush took Bill to Pope John Paul's funeral in Rome, he and Bill were talking because President Bush was coming forward with the PEPFAR program. And so he and Bill were talking, and President Bush was very committed to this, and Bill was very committed. And so Bill said to President Bush, I now have generic drugs being made in places like India that are much cheaper than the brand name drugs, and you could, with tax money, treat many more people. And so President Bush, to his credit, said, yeah, but my folks tell me that the drugs aren't as good as ours. And Bill said, I'll give them to you, you give them to the FDA, you test them, and I'll abide by your test. And I think you can ask him if you want tomorrow, but I think he gave, I don't know, like 24 drugs, and the FDA approved 22. And President Bush was as good as his word. And so we began as the United States and the Clinton Foundation, because of that connection and that partnership, we began treating millions of people with low-cost drugs, with federal PEPFAR money, saving millions of lives. Sadly, that's going to be reversed because of the attitudes of this administration and the cutbacks, but it was one of the great services to humanity. And I give President Bush and I give my husband enormous credit for doing something that wasn't going to get them headlines, wasn't going to get them, some kind of, statue put up, but was saving millions of lives, preventing mother-to-child transmission, preventing, people from dying. So that's what he was doing.
And thank you for that. Did Mr. Ban play a significant role in helping set up the foundation initially?
Yes, he did.
And when CGI was initially created, whose idea was that?
It was Bill's idea. He went to Davos and he called me after he'd been at Davos and he said, a lot of interesting people, but they don't do anything but talk. And I have a better idea. Why don't we get people together? And yeah, they can talk, but they have to make commitments and they have to follow through on the commitments. And we could have an annual meeting that would bring people who were willing to make commitments. And that was his idea. And I thought it was a really good idea. And I encouraged him to go out and see if he could put it together.
Are you aware of are you aware of anyone else helping formulate the idea for CGI?
Oh, I think he talked to a lot of people. I couldn't tell you who, but he talked to a lot of people.
Did Mr. Epstein have a role in shaping the formation of CGI?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about it.
Did Ghislaine Maxwell have any role in shaping CGI?
I don't have any idea about that.
I will enter as Majority Exhibit 11, the interview between Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Ms. Ghislaine Maxwell from July of 2025. We will get you all a copy momentarily.
Guys, my mouse is jerky right now. Guys. Jeffrey said, they no longer have that program anymore to help people that have AIDS, thanks to the orange head. Yeah. Thanks to him, they don't have a lot of stuff, allegedly. But let me just say this here. I know I brought it up earlier. We're going to talk about, I want to show y'all a video of them at the end, okay, that people been talking about the allegedly, and just in my opinion, okay, allegedly, okay, that Jeffrey Epstein talked with a Silicon Valley person, should I say, Silicon Valley researcher. They had discussed very extreme stuff, racist stuff, right? Ideology, okay, about black people. Yeah. And it's all over the internet, especially on TikTok and other social media and other things like that, of how they're talking about hunting black people. I didn't make that up. I'm just reading what I just heard, allegedly. Now, don't go off everybody talking about that's true, okay? But you just got to look at the emails yourself. And then you can say what you want to say. You can say, oh, that's true, Pinky. Oh, Jane Doe, that was true. Susie, mama, that was true. Susie, daddy, that was true. You can make up, you can think whatever you want to think. I'm just going to give you the information. Okay. And then one day we're going to talk about it in full, but not tonight. I'm just going to show you a clip or two, what other people are saying, because I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I'm just telling you what I'm looking at, what I was looking at some emails today. And yes, I'm minding my own business. Y'all, I be minding my own business. So instead of going into the whole email thing, I'll just pull it up on TikTok because they just quick and fast and they'll just give it to you like, boo, 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 like that. That's what we're going to do. But we got to get back to Hillary for a little bit because we can't be long. Hillary she said she got some more time left because I want Hillary to pop off because Hillary going to pop off on.
And I'm sorry, what was this exhibit?
This will be majority 11.
I like your comments, Taffy, in the chat. Girl, this is a mess, hot mess. They playing with the wrong person.
I would like to direct your attention to page 263.
Good night, sweet tea. Good night. I know you got to get up and go to work in the morning, so you go ahead. Love you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
And on page 263, Ms. Maxwell tells Mr. Blanche that she had a role in shaping CGI. You said you were not aware of Ms. Maxwell having any role in shaping CGI.
I was not involved in the creation of CGI. Again, I was in the United States Senate. I was not involved in the work that was done to set up CGI.
No one discussed the formation of CGI with you?
That it was going to be set up, but I don't have any specific recollection of having any specific knowledge of it, no.
Did Mr. Epstein help craft the idea or formulation of CGI?
I don't have any idea. I don't know anything about that.
She did. She did.
Is it possible that Ms. Maxwell had a role in creating CGI?
I'm not going to speculate. I'm here to tell you what I know, and I don't know anything about that.
Understood. And is it possible Mr. Epstein had a role in crafting CGI?
I'm not going to speculate about that either because, you know, I have no way of knowing that because I have no direct knowledge.
I told them this.
I will enter now as Majority Exhibit 12.
They got to do a good job for Orange Head.
letter from
They can't
Mr.
mess
Epstein's
up.
attorneys. I will give you a second for it to be passed out.
This is their performance for him. Because they know if they F up,
This is a letter dated July 6, 2007.
they're in
It
trouble.
is from Gerald B. Lefcourt. He was an attorney for Mr. Epstein. He sent this to the prosecutors in the Southern District of Florida. That would be Sloman, Minchell, Lori, and Villafana. And I will direct your attention to page 21. That top paragraph on page 21, it says, quote, Mr. Epstein was part of the original group that conceived the Clinton Global Initiative, which is described as a project bringing together a community of global leaders to devise and implement innovative solutions to some of the world's most pressing challenges. Again, is it possible that Mr. Epstein played a role in crafting CGI?
I have no idea what he did or what he said he did, and I have no way to testify to
just
the
trying to get
veracity
rid of-
either. I
Make
was
up,
not involved.
Have
they
you seen
want
this
her to make
document
up a
before?
lie so they can hold her in contempt or something. Y'all, Hillary ain't playing with y'all. Hillary know what y'all doing. You ain't got time for this. You fooling with a boss. You fooling with a businesswoman, educated woman. She ain't
The
gonna fool
Clinton
you.
Foundation accepts donations as part of carrying out its work. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And when seeking, let me take a step back. People charitably provide donations to the foundation.
It's a 501c3, yes.
And do you or anyone else at the foundation ever solicit donations for the foundation?
I'm sure that happens. People talk to us, we talk to people, they ask questions about the work that's being done, and I'm sure that happened in the years before I was involved.
Did you solicit funds from Jeffrey Epstein for the foundation?
I had no contact with Jeffrey Epstein. I did not solicit funds from Jeffrey Epstein.
Did you solicit any funds for the foundation from Ms. Maxwell?
I did not. Again, we're talking about the creation of the foundation.
Oh, Lord.
I was not involved in the creation of the foundation or the creation of CGI. In those early years, I was incredibly focused on my job in the Senate. Bill was focused on setting up the foundation and
Somebody
starting
don't be
CGI.
focused on their job in that administration there.
And understanding you were occupied with your career as a senator and then your presidential campaign leading up to 2008. But at this time, were you discussing starting the CGI with President Clinton?
I'm going to object to any communications between the two of them. You can ask generally, but that's covered by the marital communications.
This man,
Understood. So generally
they ain't
speaking,
together.
I'm
Somebody gave
sure
him
that I talked to my
questions.
husband.
Somebody gave him some questions and he don't even know what to say. He haven't even looked at those questions. He is not prepared. Just like the same thing. We in this damn war that we have nothing to do. Okay. That he didn't even get approved. Okay. Another thing. You got to remember this is a way to cover him. Okay. Cover him.
About what he was doing to set up the foundation. It was more on the substance of the work. How many drugs was he getting made in India? What was the idea that was going to motivate CGI to be what he wanted it to be? It was not in the weeds. It was the concept. It was the excitement that he had about trying to establish the foundation and CGI.
and similar question for Mr. Band. Did you discuss the creation of CGI with Mr. Band?
I may have, because he was around. He worked for my husband. He was a personal aide to my husband, but I don't have any recollections of any specific conversations.
Broadly speaking, at any time, do you recall any discussions related to distancing the foundation or CGI from Mr. Epstein or Ms. Maxwell?
I don't recall any conversations. I know that sometime, maybe 2003 or so, Bill did not have any ongoing contact with Epstein. And in preparation for this hearing, it became clear to him that Epstein was not interested in the charitable work that was motivating Bill as he traveled around the world, getting people to commit to
providing low-cost drugs for not just HIV/AIDS, but eventually tuberculosis, malaria, and other diseases.
And what is your understanding of Mr. Epstein no longer wanting to participate in the foundation's philanthropic goals?
Only in preparation for this have I been told that, there was no real interest there. And, there was no point in being involved or connected to him.
And we touched on this. Correct me if I'm wrong. You said you're not aware of Mr. Epstein donating to the foundation. Would you consider, let me back up. President Clinton took trips on Mr. Epstein's jet. Is that correct?
Yes.
Would you consider offering a private jet as a donation in kind to the foundation?
Well, I don't know what the rules are under the 501c3 regulations, but it was certainly a gift. And he was, one of a number of people who provided transportation so that Bill could do the work he was doing.
I think we touched on this. Did Mr. Epstein end up donating to the foundation or CGI?
I have no personal knowledge of that.
You're not aware of a $25,000 donation from Mr. Epstein's affiliated companies to the foundation?
Only what I was told was alleged in preparation for this testimony. I did not know about that, and I don't know that it's true.
Are you aware of the Clinton Foundation reviewing any records in regard to Mr. Epstein donating to the foundation?
I will have to ask our lawyers. I did not.
Have you had any conversations about the foundation reviewing those donations made by Mr. Epstein?
I think I'll have to ask our lawyers. I don't know. I didn't review them.
Understood. Ms. Mace, do you have some questions?
I did. Thank you for being here this afternoon. In your opening remarks, you mentioned this is political theater and partisan. Do you believe the Epstein files are a vast right-wing conspiracy?
I think if they are fully released as the Transparency Act requires, that would be fulfilling the responsibility of the Justice Department. But it appears that there have been many issues with the full release. So I'm not going to characterize it other than to say I think that's a well-known fact.
Are you aware that both Republicans and Democrats voted to subpoena you and your husband?
I am here.
Okay. Are you aware both Republicans and Democrats voted to hold you in contempt when you didn't show up?
I am here.
Is that partisan when both parties vote to do something together? Is that partisan or nonpartisan?
I think it's standing up for the institution, but there are many other aspects of the committee's work that strikes me as avoiding the main issues about who should be sitting here, who has actual information that might be useful to your investigation.
As a survivor, I'm a survivor. I appreciated your opening statement and you're prioritizing some of these issues. Have you always believed this way? Have you believed this way for some time?
Have I what?
Have you believed what you believed in your opening statement for some time?
Yes, I have.
How long have you had those beliefs or held those beliefs in your opening statement?
Very long.
In 1998, you had the same beliefs?
Yes.
2005?
Yes.
2008?
Yes.
2012?
Sure.
2016? 2020? 2024 to present day, you've held these beliefs the whole time?
Yes, I have.
Have you always believed that women abused by powerful men should be believed?
I know where you're going with this, and I have nothing to say about anything in the past. I'm here to answer questions about this investigation.
So do you believe that women who are abused by Epstein and an Epstein circle of associates should be believed?
I think that many of them have made very credible accusations.
Have you always thought that, do you think that women abused by powerful men should get justice?
I think that they should have their time to be evaluated, and where there is adequate evidence, they should certainly get justice, and perpetrators should be held to account.
The question was, have you always thought that women abused by powerful men should get justice?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I agree. Are you aware that, you were aware, I think you said this earlier, that Jeffrey Epstein was convicted in 2008 for procuring a child for prostitution and soliciting a prostitute, correct?
That's what the charges were, yes.
And you were aware of that in 2008?
I don't recall that I was aware then.
And in 2008, you were a U.S. Senator still?
I was.
Would you say that Jeffrey Epstein is one of the world's most prolific sex traffickers?
From what we know, he certainly engaged in his predatory activities for a long period of time.
Would you say he's one of the world's most prolific sex traffickers?
I don't know what to compare it to. There are terrible sex trafficking rings all over the world.
And And you said you were Secretary of State from 2009 to 2013.
Mhm.
And you state your agency prioritized combating sex trafficking internationally, correct?
That's correct.
During your time as Secretary of State, did you or the state receive any intelligence cables or briefings mentioning Epstein's foreign travel, pedophile island, or his network of pedophiles and sex trafficking?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
How did you miss it? If he's, I believe, one of the most prolific sex traffickers in the world, you were Secretary of State. How did you miss it?
Well, that would have been a matter of the Justice Department, not the State Department.
But in your opening statement, and your statements earlier in your opening statement, you stated that Secretary Rubio should be called to testify. And you said that he has, and the administration has, quote, abandoned survivors. Using the same logic, you were Secretary of State during a time period after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of being a pedophile and soliciting children for sex. Why then did you, quote, using your own logic, abandon survivors?
What is the question, please?
I followed her comment. First of all, we focused on whether there were laws that made sex trafficking, sexual slavery, domestic violence, other abuses of women on the books in countries. And then we tried to evaluate, were those laws being implemented? And were judges appropriately trained and briefed about how to implement those laws? Were governments taking them seriously? We looked at the broad institutional approach to these very serious abuses.
Would you say the U.S. government at that time, during this time period, was appropriate with the way that it handled Epstein?
I don't think that you could say that was true about any of the government's prosecutorial efforts, starting with the Southern District of Florida and Alex Acosta and all those who basically gave him a sweetheart deal. And then I think going up the chain, there was very little attention paid that should have been paid. But we had laws on the books. They were not being implemented. But that was not within my purview, because what we were looking at is what's the institutional structure, and can we do more to make sure countries take it seriously? Our country had laws on the books.
So
this man was not held to account.
It was not in your purview when you were Secretary of State. Then why is it today in Secretary Rubio's purview?
Because what's happened is that the office that was actually following what was going on around the world has been decimated. 70% of the staff is gone. It's impossible to carry out the functions of that office if you don't have a critical number of people. So my question would be,
educate her,
Rubio, is there more that can be done?
I'm running out of time here. You were clothed with immense power as Secretary of State. You've stated on the record in your opening statement that child sex trafficking in general, human trafficking, trafficking of all kinds is a priority. You were clothed with immense power. Your husband was clothed with immense power. And until you got the subpoena and until these files were out in the open, you did nothing to try to effectuate all of these things you say that should have been done. Is that correct?
No, it's totally incorrect. I mean, all of your assumptions are ones that I reject.
Thank you.
When you saw photos of your husband in a hot tub laying on a beach and getting massaged by other women, and you knew that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in some of these trips and these things, did it concern you at all?
I'm here not to offer my opinions. I'm here to answer specific questions to the best of my ability.
When you saw your husband in these photos with young women being massaged, what went through your mind?
I am not going to speculate.
You didn't have any feelings about young women massaging your husband?
I am not going to offer opinions or speculation about anything that I have no context for and was not there.
After you learned that Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of sex crimes with kids, any of these photos of your husband with women being massaged on the beach, did it concern you?
I have no context for even answering that question. And I think, obviously the innuendo, all the rest of it.
I'm asking a black and white question. I'm not putting any leading statements into it or adjectives. Did you do anything to determine what was happening in those images or on those trips that once you saw these photos, once you realized?
You're right, Taffy. So now her administration's fault. No, see what they're trying to do. You see what they're trying to do. Trying to say, now since all this ish came out, why aren't you doing something? You didn't do shit. The man you trying to impress right now is all in it, but you try to hide it, huh? Lord. Oh Lord, we don't have long before this is before the live is over. I'm going to come back to Hillary. I'm going to pick back up where we left off at. Let me just put it here. We left off at, let me see, with this little not smart girl. I just had to say it in a way. Not smart girl. Okay. Hillary, we're going to come back to you in just a moment. Okay. I want to show you all this. Okay. We're going to come back to Hillary. I like that, Taffy. Remember I told you about those emails? The emails. Okay. That's what we're getting ready to show right quick. And then we're going to get back to Hillary. If we have time. If not, we're going to pick back up where we left off at. Now, Look at these emails. Okay, I'm going to pull up some right here. Oh shit, he's a long, he talks long. No, I can't do him. Okay. I'm trying to find somebody where it's going to be short. Well, I want you to listen to his comment, okay?
He formed something called the Trilateral Commission. The Trilateral Commission is some spooky stuff. People said it was some of the people that, the Illuminati, there's some mystery about it, people that ran the world.
There's a lot of names on that list. Mm-hmm. Y'all see all these names on that list, huh? Yes, a lot of names on it. I'm stopping the music on it, though. Okay. Everybody talking about these emails. Let me see. Here's somebody. Oh, let me unmute him. Start back over.
Okay, this email thread where Jeffrey is plotting and planning what to do with a woman who had accused one of his buddies, Leon Black, of R-word, and to get some assistance in figuring out what to do with this girl who was causing so much trouble in his life and his friends' lives. He consulted one of Putin's advisor. Said advisor is specifically Sergei Belikov. I'm almost positive that there is an unredacted version of this email that was put in the files before the second drop because of past public reporting and other deep dives I've done on Leon Black. As soon as I started reading this email, it was very obvious who Jeffrey's talking to. So Jeffrey reaches out to Putin's advisor, Sergei, and says, "How are you? I need a favor. There's a Russian girl from Moscow, blank. She is attempting to blackmail a group of powerful businessmen in New York. It is bad for business for everyone involved. She arrived in New York Saturday of last week and is staying at the Four Seasons on 57th Street. Suggestions?" Sergei responds and says, "I'm fine. Give me a few days to get information about her." Jeffrey says, "I very much appreciate it. Hope your summer is filled with fun." Sergei then responds and says, "Hi, Jeffrey. Tomorrow I'm meeting with a guy who knows her / about her. If you have any details about case you have mentioned, it could help." Jeffrey responds and says, "Sane, powerful men taking advantage of women like her, etc." And Sergei responds, "Got it. Keep in mind, these emails were sent the summer of 2015. This is the Russian model who Jeffrey was trying to figure out what to do with. And he was freaking out because she had specifically made an allegation against his friend Leon Black, who we have done a whole deep dive on. He was accused of R-wording the 16-year-old cheerleader who was scouted from her community cheer practice by a woman for Jeffrey. And she was autistic and had mosaic Down syndrome, and Jeffrey and Ghislaine took a liking to her because she looked like a doll. The woman's name is Giselle Geneva. I apologize if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. She was a Russian woman who was in a long-term relationship, was having an affair because Leon Black is married. This woman became involved with Leon Black and other people within Jeffrey and Leon Black's inner circle beginning as early as 2008. Leon Black basically paid for her schooling, paid for her education until 2015 when Leon Black entered this Russian model's apartment that I assume he paid for, which is why he felt entitled to just enter at will. And at the time she was very sick and he came in and had his way with her, despite her saying no and asking him to stop. And this poor woman spent years in court trying to get justice for what this man did to her. And ultimately the legal system failed her. But Leon Black did admit to having an affair for an extended period of time. And then I'm going to read you this paragraph from Jeffrey and Putin's advisor, Sergei. 1, the girl arranges this business each summer in the US and other locations. 2, she has colleagues. 3, she has nobody behind her. At least those who know her say she has no patronage. 4, so far she has been engaged in numerous hard stories with no consequences for the other participants. 5, therefore your information surprises. An effort to contact her has been made, but she has not answered. Looks like business problems. That may be a reason for blackmail. 6, deny of the access to the United States would be a great threat to her business. But like, that's what this email correspondence is about. It was Jeffrey trying to figure out what to do with this girl who accused his buddy of R-wording her. And because she is a Russian woman, he went directly to just about as powerful of office as you can get in Russia to try to see what he could find out about her and what could be done. Basically, how they could best make her shut up or disappear without consequences. So that's what this was about. I saw a lot of people stating that they were talking about Ruslana in this situation, and there is a lot of conversations in the files about Ruslana, who we've done a deep dive on, and I plan to follow up and share more. I reposted a video just the other day of someone talking more about it. I do plan to do a follow-up video talking about some of the things Jeffrey and his friends were talking about surrounding Ruslana, because it's very clear they knew who she was very well, and they knew more than what the public knows about what happened to her. There were a lot of people assuming that they were talking about Ruslana in this situation. Ruslana had already passed away. They are not talking about her. They're talking about the girl who was for a while Leon Black's, I guess you could say, mistress, that he went on to R-word. And it's wild to me that two extremely credible cases of R-word have been levied against Leon Black within the last 10 years. Zero accountability. Never gotten in trouble for it. So yeah, now you know who's being discussed in this email and who was receiving these emails. Okay, this email.
One passed away? Oh my Lord. Y'all, this stuff.
I'm going to show you some of the emails from the Epstein files. They're talking about these big parties of hunting people, and specifically certain types of people too, which makes it even more disturbing, right?
Okay.
This is to Epstein. Going to Mean Lana's party now to hunt. Why would you be going to a party to hunt? Check this out. Snipe hunt is over. Moon crickets in a bag field. In a field bag. And then the bottom is so messed up. Look, guess what? They're N-words.
No.
Yeah.
N-word?
That's
I don't know what they mean.
that.
'Cause I think I saw that video. Not video, that email. That N-word, that means, y'all know what I'm saying. What they call black people back in the day. Yeah.
Moon crickets? That's what they're saying in the email. It's messed up. So they're targeting specific people. And it gets even crazier because there's speculation they even did this to kids, fam. So they would take a whole bunch of kids, throw them into a forest on a deserted area, enclosed where they can't escape, and they would hunt them like game. This is a video of somebody that said they survived the hunting party. Yeah. Listen to this. She's explaining what happens. So this is Jessie Sizbotar, survivor of child hunting party. I'm going to show you some of the emails from the
Oh my God. Let me just ask you. You said we know, Taffy. You hadn't heard that too? Did you hear that as well? This is sadistic. Didn't I tell you this stuff is sadistic? This is criminal sadistic. This is mind crazy. Oh my Lord. Tell you what, guys, we're going to pick back up on this tomorrow. Oh, you have heard of that. Oh my God. See, we're going to talk about this too. We're going to pick back up on part 3 tomorrow. Okay? Yes, we are. Oh my God. My God. Okay. So thank you everybody for being here. Thank you guys for coming in. Y'all know I love it.
And this is just the beginning. I need a big change. Help me
We're gonna
feel
go
like
ahead and
living.
go.
I need a big
Thanks,
swing.
guys.
Home runs I'm hitting and I'm
Bye-bye.
never look back. Moving on till I get it all.